Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast, The Movie Pod. I'm your host, Isaac, obviously joined by our co-host, Joseph. How you going, man? How you going?
I'm good.
It's been
Late
a
night,
pretty...
You're on holiday?
I am. I'm done school for the year, thank God.
Yeah. Which is good because the movies are getting better.
Yep. And we can crank
You
out
got
some more.
Napoleon coming out.
We do have Napoleon
You got
coming out.
Wonka coming out.
Oh, the hype for Wonka is insane. But no, we can start being more frequent again on the podcast. Since Ahsoka, we've done 2 episodes, I believe. That's not very good. But no. End of term for me. I had exams, Joseph went away for a little bit. So life was hectic between both of us. But hey, we both pretty much, Joseph's got his B-Day coming up. Another year older. Otherwise, not much going on.
Don't like it.
We can just crank on the Movie Podcast. I'm on holidays for 9 weeks. So hopefully we can get some good episodes out. And we're coming back with obviously the reason you clicked on this video. The Marvels. We watched it. We went in there with very low expectations. So did everybody else. There's a large majority just hating on the movie because, even though they haven't seen it, just because that's the whole premise of this movie, everyone just decided to hate on it.
Yep.
I was kind of blown away how not spectacular it was. It wasn't, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
No, it was a good movie. I thought it was
fine movie, fine Marvel movie.
It was
late.
nowhere near. Yeah, it was nowhere near high Marvel standards.
No.
But as you said, of late,
yeah,
I
it
think
was a fine Marvel movie.
Step in the right direction.
Sure. And it didn't push a agenda with, being the 3 female leads with, a Hispanic one, a black one, and a white one, all females. People ultimately straight away goes, oh, woke movie, boo-hoo, I'm not going to watch it, which is probably part of the reason why it's flopping at the box office. It's doing terrible. It's Marvel's worst movie at the box office currently. Not looking good. But it didn't, from my understanding, my watch of it, it didn't push that agenda of the female lead. It was fine. It felt natural. It felt neutral, and it was a quick movie. It went by quick. That length was just perfect. I really enjoyed that. The end credit also sets up something pretty important. It gives us more into the multiverse and these alternate realities, these parallel universes within the MCU. So that was cool. We got our first look at Beast in the MCU.
Storm.
Yes.
Beast also mentioned Charles, which more likely to be Charles Xavier.
That end credit was pretty, pretty hype. And that just sets up something, hopefully. But overall, the movie was fine. It wasn't everyone went into this movie thinking it was going to be incredibly dog shit, incredibly hot trash. I had a fun time. The comedy was funny. The acting was actually good. Person who plays Miss Marvel herself, I believe her name is I can't pronounce the name, but Kamala Khan, Kamala Khan herself. She was a standout for me, honestly. She was very enjoyable to watch, very entertaining, and the movie overall was solid plot. It wasn't nothing major. As I said, that end credit was the big thing, but it was a fun movie that is part of the MCU. It's there, it exists, and it's not something that I'm gonna give enough energy to just throw shit at, because it wasn't shit and
unnecessary.
I see a lot of people online saying this is the worst movie ever made. They clearly haven't seen it. There was nothing incredibly wrong with it. It was a quick movie that went by. It was entertaining. It was a superhero movie. It felt like all day this entertaining superhero movies. It didn't feel like it was giving much to a larger picture within the MCU apart from that end credit. It just felt like a superhero movie that exists in the realm of cinema, and it was entertaining for the most part. So if I look at it that way, it was a fine movie.
I would rank it pretty highly. I'd rank it pretty highly on the poor movies. I think it's better than the last two Ant-Mans.
Yes, definitely better than Captain
Most
Marvel.
shows
I believe
that have
so.
come out. Better than the first Captain Marvel. Yeah, I think I would rather rewatch this than rewatch Captain Marvel 1.
Me too. And this being quick really helped.
It did. That's the thing. They simplified everything in this movie, and that's what I liked so much about it. Because instead of having long 2.5 hour movies with just drawn out scenes like Thor,
so
like
hopefully
Thor
they learn
4,
from this. Yeah,
this was better than Thor 4. It didn't overstay its welcome.
No.
And I really like that because that's what Marvel movies have done.
Exactly.
They've pushed the time, make it as long enough runtime, and just shove it all with things that nobody understands, unless you're like hardcore.
Yeah, no,
sure. And this one's just like, just go watch a movie. You want to watch a movie? Let's go have a look at movies are on. This is on. Let's watch this.
Exactly. That's my point exactly. And people bashing it just are the ones that are pressed over the female lead. Like, you see it, your first instant, knowing Marvel and Marvel being owned by Disney, your first instant, you see that poster, you see that cast, your first instant is it's woke. Mainly, it's made by Disney, it's made by Marvel, it's a superhero film. We're in that realm of cinema nowadays, blockbusters nowadays, trying to push an agenda. It's fine to have female leads, it's fine, like, I don't care. It's when they push their agenda, that's what woke is, when they push the agenda. This didn't push an agenda. They had 3 perfect female leads that shined, and it was entertaining to watch. It was a fun movie. It went by quick, as I said, and it's a movie that exists. It's an entertaining movie that exists, so you can switch your brain off and just, after a stressful day, you can put this on, and it's a superhero movie. There you go. It's one of those type of movies. And
it's not coded in plot. It's not coded in like character arcs, and like it doesn't have 20 different like main characters.
No,
who you all have to keep up with. You have 3 characters. You have Nick Fury and the villain. The villain is kind of forgettable, to be honest.
It was, yeah. She kind of was. But
she was kind of forgettable.
Again, you don't even need to know much to watch this movie. You can jump into the Marvels and have a fun time with a superhero movie. It feels like old day Marvel, where this doesn't necessarily, sure, that end credit connects to a lot, but this movie doesn't necessarily connect to everything else, and that's a positive. We should have a Marvel movie like that once in a while, where fans can just jump back in. You don't need to have been 100% caught up on everything else, because I am not caught up on Marvel right now. I'm chasing on Loki. I just started season 1. It is fantastic, but watching Loki, the start of Loki, it made me realize, okay, I really need to go back and watch and rewatch Marvel, because a lot of the stuff that's happening with the multiverse in there, I'm like, okay, time to know. And The Marvels was just a fun superhero movie. There's nothing that can put it past that. I would honestly give it like on Letterboxd, I believe I give it a 3 out of a 3.5. I gave it a 3.5.
I think I would give it a solid 2.5. I think it
okay.
It was afraid to do a lot, but I think what it did do was fine. It didn't do too much. It didn't try to be. It was just a solid movie, so I think I give it a 2.5, just straight down the middle.
Sure, no, that's fair. Halfway, 50, exactly mid. Yeah. I would definitely rather rewatch this over a lot of other Marvel's movies, and that's one thing Marvel really, something Marvel really just is a negative in a way, is their length, and the Marvels kind of proved it. An hour 45 minutes the runtime of this movie was, and that felt refreshing. My brain wasn't hurting. It was a quick flick, and I watched this the day I came back from doing my Hunger Games marathon, so I was already incredibly tired. I had just watched 4 movies straight from 8 p.m. at night to 7 a.m. in the morning. I was incredibly tired. We watched this at 3 p.m. or something. It was, I turned it on, turned my brain off, and just watched, and I enjoyed it. I was entertained, and the Rotten Tomatoes actually went up, so it debuted at Rotten, but it's gone up to 62% right now, so it's currently fresh, and audience score is 83%, but like the people on Twitter that I've been observing and seeing, people are bashing the movie pretty hard, people are letting it flop. Like, you go to the box office, is not very good. The Marvel's budget, we bring that up. The Marvels had a budget of $275 million. $275 million.
And what's it at now?
It's currently made... The Marvels currently made $162 million. It performed the worst... It was the worst performing comic book movie in history at the box office for the opening weekend. Did worse than The Flash. It did... worse than any other comic book movie ever made. It's currently the worst performing comic book movie in terms of budget up against box office. That was expected. I think I definitely knew it was going to flop.
Office flops. Yeah,
I definitely knew it was going to flop at the box office.
Good movie or not?
It was going to either way. Just people just jumped on the train of hating this movie. If they went and actually gone and seen it, it's a fine movie. It exists, and if people, aren't, I think that's one thing Marvel needs to just stop. They need to stop trying to hurry on their timeline, and hurry.
Yeah, we're only getting one project next year, which
is Deadpool 3, which is very refreshing.
Yeah,
which is very good.
It is
the hype, and that better be bang. I'm really worried about it, just because of the strikes.
I'm not. Well, it does look like it might be delayed until early 25.
That's crazy.
I did see something about that.
That's crazy. And it could be a good thing though. Marvel needs a break. They need a regroup.
They do. They do. They really do. They need a year off.
Yeah. And then you come back with bangers.
Yeah.
Like that Echo trailer. I don't know if you watched the Echo trailer, but oh my god, that thing looks incredibly good. Again, for that show, I'm like, I'm not going to watch Echo. I heard about it. It did not come to my mind that I'm going to watch Echo. It's not something I was excited for. That trailer, we see Daredevil, it just looks so much more gritty. It's gritty Marvel, and that's something else that shines in Marvel. They need to start going back to the old ways, but also just giving the fans, refreshment. Don't give us the same thing over and over. Like the last time we got a fun, not so serious superhero movie within Marvel was like that doesn't connect and doesn't really move the plot of the MCU along much. Was
Thor.
Love and Thunder, which was but that was bad. They did that incredibly bad. They did a bad job with that. Yeah, like the Marvels did a good job with just being a superhero movie that exists within the MCU.
Yeah, I would say they're not really individual movies anymore, but like the original Black Panther.
Yeah, which was 2018.
Yeah, that'd be my...
Again, that's a movie that... Black Panther, it's a great movie. To me, it's entertaining and it exists. It's not something I drool over, and it's not my favorite Marvel movie. I do get why people love it, but for me, it's just a movie that exists. A superhero movie that's entertaining to watch.
Sure.
So yeah, no, I would give the Marvels a solid maybe 3 out of 5. Readjusting it, it was entertaining. It was an entertaining Marvel movie that exists. I won't go and see it again at the theaters. I might chuck it on one day in the far future, but it's a movie I watched. I was entertained, and it felt good to just watch a Marvel movie without having to stress.
Mindlessly.
Yeah, mindlessly. That's a perfect word. Yeah. But no, we just want to jump on, do our quick review on the Marvels. There isn't much to discuss. As a movie overall, it was fine. And that end credit obviously is the big thing. So we'll see what happens next with that, because multiverse is a very interesting thing that obviously Kevin Feige wants to play around with at Marvel. I love the idea of the multiverse in franchises like Marvel. Definitely not in franchises like Star Wars. But in franchises like DC and Marvel, I'm a big fan of multiverses. So I'm definitely interested to see what they actually do, because, we're years into this multiverse thing, but we haven't really learnt a lot about it. So
no, I know, and that's the thing. I think what this post-credit scene does is it's kind of like the old ones where. Let me think. What was a big post-credit scene like in like a mid-tier movie? Like, kind of think of it like Iron Man 1, where it was a deleted scene, I think, but it's where Nick comes in and goes, like Nick Fury comes in and goes, "I want you to be a part of the Avengers."
Yeah.
Kind of like that, or maybe Guardians 2 with Adam Warlock.
Oh yeah.
That was good hype.
Yeah, it was.
I think this is like one of those old ones. Instead of just a funny one, or like goofy, or like important for the next movie, I feel like this one was. This is the next big thing, and it's
important for the franchise, for the actual timeline of the MCU. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I do want to quickly mention. They're talking about sinking Kang the Conqueror and moving on to Doom because...
Yes, I've heard a lot about that.
Yeah. I think it's fair. I prefer Doom as a villain. I think he's not on the overpowered level that, say, Kang the Conqueror is. I think Kang the Conqueror could have been saved, just like Galactus is being saved.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Doom is a lot more... You can do Doom like you do Thanos, but on a bigger scale.
Yeah. It's... but
I would put Doom as the second big villain, but I thought Kang was just such a big jump for them to handle in the first place.
It's a real
not their choice. It's
fan.
They just punches on.
I'm a real fan of this storyline they were going with Kang, and I will be kind of annoyed if they do stop it and they change it up. But it just seemed like they had a good story going with it. Obviously, it started with Quantumania, which was lackluster. But then Loki Season 2 involves Kang a lot. And if they did all that for nothing... And apparently Loki Season 2 was incredible. Apparently the finale got spoiled for me. I won't say. But I do know what happens in the finale.
It hasn't been spoiled for me.
Hasn't been spoiled for you yet.
I think...
This
I know.
Finale was massive. And the fact they would just move away from Kang... Unless they do it very good and just somehow... You know, I would love to see the Doctor Doom, in the MCU ASAP. But I want them to just do this Kang thing. Jonathan Majors is the perfect actor for Kang. He's not even found guilty yet. Let the court cases roll out. It would be a real shame if this was all just a pickle. And he is not guilty, but Marvel still step away from it. But we'll have to wait and see. I don't know.
I get it though. They're such a big company that
I get
they're
it.
always trying to be taken down, and so anything like this will damage that.
It's just a shame. It's a real shame because they could have had
It is.
Majors, Jonathan Majors, massive up and coming actor. He's incredible. He's very talented, and
he was. Creed 3 is still up there, like top 3 of my movies of the year.
Me too. And for me, I went into that thinking I would hate it. I was like, I'm gonna walk out of this movie. Yeah, it's my second favorite movie of the year, which was crazy. And then I saw the new Hunger Games last weekend. That's my third favorite movie of the year. That was incredible. That shocked me a lot. The first 4 Hunger Games, they were good. The first one's really good, but watching them as a marathon for the first time was really difficult. I definitely got to rewatch them. But no, the prequel, the one that just came out, was incredible. I really enjoyed it. Big surprise to me. It was such a good movie. I definitely want to see it again soon, and that's my third favorite movie of the year. But no, the Marvels I put like directly in the middle of my favorite movies this year. 2023 films ranked. It's directly in the middle. It's just again a movie that exists that was entertaining in the time of watching it, and that's that.
Yeah.
But no, guys. Let us know if you actually watched the Marvels. Did you see it, or are you trying to boycott the hell out of this thing as well? Like everybody else. It's definitely not making its budget. You know, well, maybe Marvel needs a flop once in a while. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this quick review on the Marvels. And let us know what you guys thought of the movie. Was it a big shock to you how not bad it was? And no, we'll see you guys next time on the Movie Pod. Alrighty guys. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.